Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards, and it is a party, isn't it?
Yes,
Eric?
especially in the backyard if you can make it right.
It is.
You know,
we love to help figure out those ways to just make, whether it's the outside or the inside, just more fun and more you, and help improve your home and improve your life. So thanks for hanging out with us in our new time, Saturdays, 8 to 10. So what about making your backyard a game center? I mean, a place for everyone to just kind of hang out and have a good conversation, like Scrabble. Have you seen this life-size Scrabble game? I've seen people do this, and I think that we can make it on our own and make it a fun thing for our backyard.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's about a 5 by 5 foot board with large tiles that almost look like the size of 3 by 3 ceramic tile. And they each have letters on them.
And they've used baseboard trim for the tiles.
It's a great idea. And, you know, the thing that I don't like about Scrabble is the pieces are so small and they're so lightweight that they shake off the board all the time if somebody inadvertently hits the board. I think this is a really fun thing to do.
And so imagine, if you will, the actual board becomes tile in the ground, right? It becomes almost like a little...
Right.
An area.
That's right.
That's part of
and
your
there
decking.
are little recessed areas, just like on the Scrabble board, you know, where you can run channel across in a crisscross pattern to create that grid.
With concrete stain or something really pretty. It's very, very attractive.
It's really pretty, yeah.
And not only do you want to have the nice, 3.5 inch, look at that, 3.5 inch, that's a good size. That's Mondo for the letter tiles.
Yep.
But then a place to hold them. You have to have your little shelf to hold so that you can't see my letters, because I know you're going to copy my words. I know you cheat at Scrabble.
Shh, quiet.
Right?
Well, yeah, I do. Kind
so can you put some adhesive backing to the letters to kind of have them stick?
Yeah,
so
you
the
could,
tiles
but
stick?
you probably don't even need that, though. You would just you can lay them out because the tiles are heavy enough that they're not going to move around on you, so that would be fine. But it's a really cute idea. I just love this one.
And then create a little metal tray to hold the letters. What could you do to create that metal tray, you think?
Well, you could have a piece of 1x frame around the outside, and then you can just have little pieces of thin doweling that runs back and forth in every direction. There are a lot of cuts if you were going to do the bisecting ones, though.
Right.
So
could you just make something or reuse something that you had to create?
Yeah, you
tray?
could, but again, I just think to lay them out flat on a surface that's smooth is going to be adequate. Yeah.
But when I'm holding my letters, though, I don't need to see my letters.
Oh, for that one?
Yeah,
oh, that's no problem. Yeah, no, you just have a little piece of wood, and then you do an angled piece, and then you cut 2 little triangles and glue them in on either side.
Or could you use like a shelf, like just get like a store-bought bookshelf,
sure,
or a miniature version, like a kitty bookshelf to hold that in your lap, maybe to hold your letters.
Yeah, and then you just have them right on your knee there, and then of course you have your right arm free for your cocktail. I love that.
The Scrabble cocktail.
That's it. Yeah, it's a perfect game.
It's the sauce. It's the sauce for the Scrabble.
And then a couple of benches around the outside of this thing, and you got yourself a great game
See,
board.
that could be a really fun activity, I think, whether it's the spring, the summer, no matter when, especially here in Southern California. Now, what about bocce? I haven't played bocce, but it seems like it's so popular, and it'd be so much fun to create this experience in your backyard.
Yeah, you could easily do it. And you just need, short, trimmed grass, and then basically you're done. You want the balls to be able to roll smoothly across the lawn, and if you cut it a little bit shorter than normal,
otherwise it's your excuse. Oh, it wasn't me; it was the grass. Yeah. Is it that kind of a thing?
Yeah, as close to a putting green as possible. Can I just give you a little pet peeve of mine?
Faux grass?
No.
What?
That the gardeners don't leave the lawn clippings.
Oh.
The lawn clippings are really what make the lawn as healthy as possible. But, everybody asks that you blow stuff off lawns. And I just keep seeing this over and over again. Please instruct your folks who help you with the lawn to do that. Leave the clippings on there.
You like the smell of the lawn clippings.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
The fresh smell?
Yeah.
Well, so what else will we need? Let's talk about creating our own little bocce area. I mean, it's that Italian ball game with the rolling resin bocce balls.
Right.
So I guess you would buy those.
Yeah. You could use softballs. You could actually find, there's online, you can get these anywhere. They're all over the place. And then you can have all that equipment sent to you easily. It's not that expensive in terms of shipping and packing.
And if we don't have grass, could we use artificial turf?
You could. You could roll out a piece of turf or even a piece of carpet if it were big enough.
Oh, carpet.
Yeah, you could do that too.
That would be kind of different. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, but what happens for us is that game devolves into just throwing balls at each other.
With the kids?
That's what happens.
Could you use this on like decomposed granite? Could you?
Yeah, if it's packed enough. If you have that, that's actually a great option as well. It's gonna get sort of dusty and in your hand from that decomposed granite stuff. But you could wet it down first, and then it would be okay. You could actually create a little, decomposed granite arena, if you will.
And I hear that crushed oyster shells kind of become like a flour finish that you can kind of sprinkle over the top.
Yeah, that's right.
To kind of keep it in place?
Sort of that's the fancy high-end version of it.
Holds it down?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you wet it down, and then you want to. Oftentimes, when you install that decomposed granite, you have to use a roller drum to get it flat. And it's if you imagine, if you will, like a steamroller cylinder that's on a handle, like a lawnmower, a push lawnmower. It's empty, and then you fill it with water, and that gives it its weight, and that crushes everything level.
Nice.
Yeah, those work great.
This could be like a day-long project. Well, a couple hours.
About 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about croquet? We did a thing with our neighbors where we all went over to their house. They didn't make anything tied to the croquet. They bought a set. They had a nice front lawn, but it was a great activity with kids of all ages.
Yeah, and you can. That's a good point. You can make those croquet hoops just out of a coat hanger, and you bend them in in 2 right angles.
As long as I want them to code, pal, I want them to code. You're not making yours a little wider.
I hear you. I know.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's a fun little recreational hobby, I think, that gets everyone together. Then you can go online or go to the stores and get the mallets and everything else that you need.
Mallets and the balls, you're good to go. They sell sets; they're pretty inexpensive.
Now, I guess there was an American version of the croquet.
Yeah, that's what I hear. And again, I think that's the one where you throw balls at your brother.
This version, I guess there's no flag waving. So anyway, you get all the equipment, and it's a fun, especially spring or summer backyard game, and it's relaxing, and you can have a little picnic, and it's a good activity to kind of get everybody involved before you maybe watch the other big game.
Right, and the other thing with croquet too, you could do is create obstacle courses and little ramps and little whoop-de-doos. You can create remember those Hot Wheels cars that had that little loop thing?
Right.
You can make one of those out of ducting, and bend it in a circle and then pin it into the ground with either your coat hangers or a couple of 3-inch nails, and that's kind of fun.
As long as
it's almost like miniature golf course.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you'd want to have the grass, again, cut down so that it's short, right? About an inch or so.
Yeah.
So that's the lowest.
Yeah, and if you don't have that at your own home, you can just go to a park and set up the course and make up your own rules. Who cares?
And by the way, if you are thinking of planting special grass to do this and just have some great grass, zoysia is a good one. Zoysia, it's a drought tolerant, really great grass to try.
Got a nice pile to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's really, really neat. There's a couple of new versions of it. It's a ZOYSIA.
Yeah.
What about some of the other homespun versions of games, like for a backyard game night? I mean, you did that cool thing with Wyatt, where it was a school project where you had to create this thing where you put a ball in it and it hits to the next. What was that model?
Yes.
What do you call that?
Yeah. It's the oh man, it's that thing. Oh, I can't. I'll think of it in a second. But anyway, remember the game Mousetrap?
Yeah, it's a mousetrap.
So, it starts where you roll a marble down, you create a little ramp, it hits a martini glass that flops over, and a ball goes into another circular thing that goes down, and triggers all these different devices.
It's like a little obstacle course, and then it plays the guitar at the end, is what yours did.
I had it strum a G chord.
That's very, very
cool.
Yeah,
we killed in the competition.
But we can do something like that in terms of creating our own family version of this crazy croquet, right? Where you use odds and ends, like a ladder, maybe it's golf clubs, washers, whatever, to make your own version of, I guess some people call it like a corn toss.
That's a
family-friendly game.
That's actually fun, that game where you have an angled board and then you cut a hole in the center and you try and toss a beanbag into the hole from like 20 paces away.
Now you've got a carnival at home.
Yeah.
Well, we can't forget the life-size, larger-than-life-size chess game that you see. Some homes, some beautiful homes, like in Pasadena, I've seen this where it's part of the artwork out by the pool. It's like this sculptured set, and it's sitting there all the time. And I mean, these pieces are almost life-size. They're almost like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
But you can make, give us some tips. We can make life-size or almost life-size chess pieces out of some pretty simple things. Right?
You know, it's fun. I was actually at a party once where they had people in the party play the characters of the chess pieces.
That's a fun idea.
So, you line up all the pawns
so
and the king
it's
and
living
queen.
art.
It's living chess.
Yeah. But what would you recommend to make the chess pieces? You can go to a great website called chesshouse.com. chesshouse.com, where you can buy these larger-than-life pieces, chesshouse.com. But what would you say? Like, can we use some pieces like dowels?
You could, or you could use that at the Rose Bowl floats, they use that carving foam.
Yes.
That stuff would work really well.
And then the kids can lift it because it's lightweight.
Yeah, but you would have to have a solid base. So you'd want to get like a cylindrical piece of plywood or something, and then you could attach that carving foam to that. And that'd be fun. You could carve your own pieces. Yeah.
But I was thinking that, if you wanted to get something store-bought, like look in the fencing department, would you say?
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Some of the ornamental pieces.
Yeah, and if you can't carve anything or cut with jigsaw, then you could actually just write queen or spray it on there with paint.
Make it your own little customized thing, right?
Yep.
And have the queen, the queen and the king and the rook and all that. How fun. And checkers, we can do checkers.
Easy.
Yeah?
Yeah. Again, just cylindrical pieces of plywood, you know what I mean, that you would cut out. Or a big dowel that's maybe 2 inches in diameter, and just cut it in pieces, in sections.
And use a canvas drop cloth and just paint some squares on that baby?
Yeah, or chalk on the cement would be great, too.
Cute.
Just create that grid. Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we're going to switch gears and talk about plants in the garden, or maybe even inside the house. One of my favorites is the orchid. How many times have you bought an orchid and you go, wait a minute, I better buy a new one because I can't get it to flower, right? Well, I got some tips on how
Pretty much every time.
We're gonna get that darn orchid to do what we say, right? Home Wizards.
Yeah, coax it.
We are.
Yeah.
Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole here to help improve your home and improve your life. Our new time, Saturdays 8 to 10, and check out our website, yourhomewizards.com. We're back after this.
Playing in my Silverado and I'm ice down a 6-pack.